one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it and he knows it too. They've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they live in.
So now it looks like Jay-Z and Beyoncé are already sweating heavy after Diddy's Netflix documentary shook the industry. Word is Beyoncé recently sat down with her legal team to start drafting divorce papers the moment she heard about an upcoming Netflix documentary centered around Jay-Z. There are even whispers that R. Kelly might appear in that documentary with some never-before-heard information about what Jay allegedly did with Aaliyah. And trust me, that rumor alone has the entire internet on fire. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it because the situation is getting messier by the minute. Alright, so most of you already know Jay-Z and Diddy were industry brothers for decades. They weren't just cool, they publicly called each other family and moved like they ran the culture together. But the second Diddy got dragged into criminal accusations, everything flipped instantly. At first, people thought Jay-Z and Beyoncé were distancing themselves strictly to protect their empire and image. But the truth is way deeper, way darker, and way more calculated than anyone realized.
The reason why they're already living separate lives and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask you something. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyoncé divorce. Okay? And she may or may not do an interview, but their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, oh, the artists have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah, 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 blah. Now, before all this happens, we may get another tour. We may get another album out of both of them. I don't know, because at the end of the day, they about their money first. They're gonna do what's best for business first. As far as Beyonce is concerned, do she love him? I mean, he's really all that she.
And that's exactly where things start getting interesting. Because right when all this chaos was unfolding, an alleged insider from Beyoncé's camp told YouTuber Storm Monroe something wild. They claimed Beyoncé was rushing out albums, fragrances, hair care lines, and every product under the sun, because she knew a storm was coming for Jay-Z once Diddy finally went down. Basically, she was building a financial cushion before the fallout hit. And according to the source, Beyoncé wasn't being dramatic. She was preparing for a possible industry explosion tied directly to Jay-Z's past. This is where the real story begins. And just when we all thought the situation couldn't get any darker, Jason Lee popped up with a whole new set of explosive allegations. He claimed he had career-ending tea on Beyoncé and Jay-Z, the kind of receipts that could burn their entire empire to the ground. But here's the catch. He said he would only stay quiet if Beyoncé convinced Kelly Rowland to sit down for an interview with him. At the time, nobody understood what he meant, but now people believe he was hinting at something tied directly to their rumored divorce. Jason even went live bragging, "I got the receipts. Yvette knows I got the receipts. If I don't get Kelly Rowland, it's going to be a problem," basically threatening to leak everything if he didn't get his way. Now here's where things get even crazier. Right after Diddy was arrested last year, reports came out that Jay-Z was shaking in his boots and allegedly met with both a criminal defense attorney and a divorce lawyer. This tea was spilled by the popular Twitter page NT Lawyer when they posted, "A two for today for Jay-Z," saying he met with both attorneys on the same day. The details about what he discussed weren't revealed, but everyone assumes it wasn't anything good. He clearly knew the walls were closing in, and he was already scrambling to protect himself before the storm hit. And when it comes to Beyoncé, a lot of people believe she was completely blindsided by Jay-Z's alleged ties to Diddy and had no idea how deep his mess went until Diddy's downfall became public. These rumors started getting louder after Beyoncé's ex-bodyguard claimed Jay keeps her hooked on nose candy and other substances so he can control her. He said flat out, "Beyoncé's on drugs. She's been on them a long time. and you keep her that way. That accusation alone sent the internet into shock, but the story gets even worse from here. Because then came the speculation that Jay-Z turned Beyoncé into his own personal cash cow by allegedly pushing her toward powerful industry executives. What makes this especially disturbing is that Jay was almost 30 years old when he began courting Beyoncé, who was barely 18 at the time. People think this explains why she stayed with him through cheating, scandals, and humiliation. He's the only man she has known as an adult, the foundation of her entire career, the father of her children.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people, he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyoncé being, you know, 2 of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put it into perspective of the type of company I was in
right.
at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to.
Right.
Beyoncé, cut it out. And I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man.
Leaving him would mean starting life over after decades of being molded under his influence. Oh, and about those rumors that Jay allegedly serviced her out to certain executives, Diddy himself added fuel to that story. He once told the tale of a private meeting at his house where he kicked everyone out so only Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and the baby could stay behind. According to Diddy, the 3 of them needed privacy to do their own thing, which left people wondering what exactly went down in that room. And honestly, when you connect all the dots, the picture gets more disturbing by the minute. But here's where the whole situation gets even nastier. Because it turns out Beyoncé wasn't the only young girl Jay allegedly had his eyes on. Word on the street is that he was messing around with Foxy Brown when she was only 15, while he was already in his mid-20s, pushing 30. The rumor is he dangled a record deal and big Hollywood dreams over her head, used her for what he wanted, then tossed her aside with some hush money. Now, Foxy has never confirmed or denied any of this, but when you look at how fast her career took off at the exact time they were supposedly linked, the math is refusing to add up. And once you pair that with Jay's history, the pattern becomes downright disturbing. Because first there were rumors about Foxy at 15, then whispers about Aaliyah, and then Beyoncé, who was barely legal at 18 when Jay started pursuing her. You'll see how this is basically the same playbook Diddy used on Cassie. Diddy scooped her up at 19. Dangled fame and fortune, and then turned her life into a nightmare. And let's not forget how Jay stayed tight with R. Kelly even after the whole world knew what Kelly was doing to underage girls. Jay didn't just look the other way. He made a whole joint album with him, toured with him, and defended him publicly while everyone else was backing away. The red flags were everywhere, but people were too busy worshiping Jay to see them. Meanwhile, Jay-Z was running around cozy with Diddy behind Beyoncé's back, moving recklessly, and now is scrambling to hide the mess. Because those rumors about Beyoncé divorcing him, people say they are tied to his shady dealings with Diddy about to get exposed in a new Netflix documentary, and word on the street is 50 Cent is the one pulling the strings. You'll already know 50 just dropped that Diddy documentary, and it shot straight to #1 worldwide on Spotify. But what most folks miss is that while teasing the documentary, 50 kept taking shots at Jay-Z too, like he was hinting at something coming. For example, right after Diddy got arrested, 50 posted a picture of Jay-Z on a milk carton with a caption, "Anybody seen Jay?" Puff said the man ain't answering his phone. Then he doubled down with another photo saying, "Here is Jay-Z, last seen waving at Puff's jet." And just when people thought 50 was done being petty, he uploaded that extremely rough-looking picture of Jay and said, "Jay in hibernation. He ain't coming outside till this ish with Puff blows over. No brunch, no lunch, no dinner. I'm all you got. I'm outside." If these rumors are true, Jay-Z might be in for one long, exhausting 2026. And of course, the internet had thoughts. One person said, "Beyoncé been looking dead behind the eyes for a while. Nobody wants to admit it. Prayers to her." Someone else claimed the annual Rock Nation brunch was canceled because they didn't know how to uninvite Diddy without making it obvious they were cutting ties. Hollywood has already turned its back on Diddy, so both Jay and Bey were supposedly scrambling to distance themselves too. But now I want to know what you think. Is Beyoncé really gearing up to divorce Jay-Z? And do you all really believe 50 Cent is the mastermind behind this upcoming Netflix documentary?